All right, so today we're going to look at a clip from the Super Good YouTube channel. Chris D'Elia's podcast, Congratulations. Most recent episode, he starts reminiscing on why he got in trouble. Let's just hear what he talks about.
The other one I put on was Shame. And now Shame was a movie that I always should have seen. Okay? Because it's about sex. It's about a man who is a sex addict. It's about
Now, remember, guys, that is how they spun it for Chris D'Elia. All these women coming forward, it was all consensual. It was all cool. He didn't actually get in trouble for it because he was just an addict. He just had a problem. He was just cheating on his wife or his girlfriend or whatever. He just had a lot of women. That's all it was. I was a sex addict. Nothing wrong with what I was doing, technically. Like, I don't know, man. I haven't really seen any charges in black and white, but as far as the internet is concerned, they're not happy. Still.
it's about sex addiction. And I always was like, I don't want to watch that because of how I'll probably relate to it.
Right.
And I'm going to be in the comfort of my own home.
Well, here's the thing. How did Chris D'Elia even hear of this movie? Did one of his buddies, like Brendan Schaub, send it to him? Like, send a link, like, hey, you should watch this. Laughing emoji, right? Did this movie come out during 50 Shades of Grey? When all of that, sexually explicit material was being dropped? When it was very popular? I mean, not that it isn't anymore, but I've never heard of Shame. And Michael Fassbender is like the star. What is that, Magneto?
Watching a movie with, you know what I mean? Who's that guy? I don't know. I don't even, who cares? Just some guy that's going to be in it. You know what I mean? What's it matter?
Well, here's the thing that bothers me, though, is that he's referring to real-life events, sort of, okay? To the best of our knowledge, that has happened to him that was also in a movie where people are playing pretend. There's obviously different sides of this coin, man. And I just thought it was interesting to hear this guy, from what he claims, 10 years later. Now, I don't know. I feel like 2019 was when Chris D'Elia got in trouble. I don't think it was 2014. But he's saying in 2014 is when he was going about this lifestyle. Makes you wonder, right? Again, he probably was at the top in 2014, killing it. And things started to fall off. I don't know. But back then, it makes sense that he puts this 10-year timeline on it, that 10 years ago he was doing this stuff. But he also did it for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, he did it for years. It didn't end in 2014. He didn't stop doing it in 2014. To him, that was his best year.
And so I downloaded it on the plane and I watched it. And I go, huh. So the whole time I'm like, I'm going to turn this off. And it's just getting, I mean, this movie, I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's so what it's like, dude. When you
So what I'm thinking is all the Chris D'Elia haters out there should take some time and go watch that movie Shame. Because he's saying that that's what it was like. That's what it was like. I'm going to walk in Chris D'Elia's shoes a little bit. Go check that out. It just doesn't even sound like a good movie. Why would this sounds like a movie that was made in like 1983. Not something that they're putting out in 2011. Like, this is riveting stuff, folks. We got a guy that can't keep it in his pants. That's art.
when you have access, like this dude's a successful guy in New York, and when you have access to girls, 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 I can adore, or whatever the fuck that song is. When you have access to women and it's just...
Now, what does access mean? the way that I'm starting to hear this stuff being spun is like access is, hey, do I have an assistant or a manager or somebody that I can pay to be sort of the in-between, right? Like a person who, it could even be a woman, right? So Chris D'Elia or Brian Callen or whoever you want to put in here, you could say hire somebody that could go facilitate these women. Not that they're picking them up. You could say Chris D'Elia does a show. He notices a woman in the crowd. He tells the woman that he's paying to go see if he can get her number. Then he gets the number, then they talk about, he texts her, says, do you want to come backstage, blah, 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 my hotel room, and then the deed is done, right? And instead of him having to go be shut down or embarrassed or outed by walking up to a stranger being like, hey, you want to go fuck? They pay somebody to do it for them. That's access to me. Otherwise, you would have no problem. Everybody has access to women. What do you mean? You're not in prison, so the access to women is there. Okay? So to say that, to even use that terminology, it's just making me think that there's somebody, and there has to be, right? Like, obviously, to me, it seems like Leonardo DiCaprio would definitely be a prime example of somebody who has somebody go pick up women for him. They might be women he likes, and they might be women that like him. But at the same time, he's not going and saying, hey, you want to come back to my house and ride me while I'm wearing headphones and playing fucking Pokemon Go? Okay, somebody else is going to do that so that way he can avoid the shame.
Man, it is a brutal movie, dude. This guy's ruining his life. Yes, dude. One splurt at a time. Yes, dude. He's ruining his life. He's ruining his family's life. He's ruining his sister's life. He's ruining his friend's life. Dude, it is just fantastically hard to watch. Yes! And dude, I go, I don't want to be seeing this. Watch the whole thing. Yes. And got home, made me feel fucked up. It made me feel grateful because, dude, that was my life 10 years ago. Just, except for the,
Okay, so there it is. 10 years ago? So he's saying 2015, 2014, 15, 16, he was out here getting after it. Or is he saying that was the height? Because he was doing very well in 2016. I don't know. It's just weird. I would have to see this movie Shame to sort of be like, yeah, okay. That doesn't sound like what we've heard, right? The Chris D'Elia Problem documentary or whatever that's on here, the interviews from the women. It just seems a little darker than that. I don't know. I'm just saying. To go and watch this movie and have it bring up these old thoughts and talk about 10... You can see him staring off and going into his own head. He's obviously reminiscing and sort of enjoying it looks like.
There's one Look, I go like this. This is just my life until there's one moment where he does something where I go, that's not my life. And you know what moment that is if you've seen that movie. I hope you know what movie that is. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that is not something I've ever done. So if you've seen the movie at about, All
right, so it just ends with some, like, Michael Fassbender and with some guys, okay? And Chris is saying, no, I've never been with guys. But he's saying everything else in the movie, spot on, dude. Did it all. Makes you wonder. Somebody's got to watch this movie because I don't think anybody has but him. Maybe this was just for him. I don't know. If you like this reaction, whatever, dude. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you.